They're seeing Russian tanks on their streets, but many Ukrainians are staying to fight for their country. Now they're being offered emotional and practical support by people in East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. There have been prayer vigils and collections of essential supplies which will be heading to Ukraine in the coming days. And there's also military support as typhoons from RAF Coningsby are taking part in NATO operations close to the Russian border. Crispin Rolfe has this report.
It shouldn't be like this. People shouldn't die today.
I think what we need to think is that tomorrow it can be us.
You know, politics is one thing, but the life of humans is another.
Ukraine's refugee and military crisis playing out before our eyes 1,000 miles away.
Что сегодня в Одессе происходит?
But for Lena Sutherland from Hull, the war is still too close for comfort. Her son and grandchildren are still in Ukraine, as is her friend Natasha, who spoke to her today from the western city of Odessa.
In Odessa today was peaceful, but yesterday it was explosion sounds. The building was shaking, the windows were shaking, and they just was scared.
Like, you know, Yulia yesterday brought you that box and she already...
But it's the scale of that crisis that has brought Hull's Romanian and Polish communities together. They're appealing for donations in a joint effort to get much-needed supplies here, to Poland's border with Ukraine, where work's already underway to help those fleeing the violence.
Personally, as having family, friends very near eastern border, Ukraine border, I feel devastated.
Like others, Magda and Paul are asking the community for donations, but more than that, they also need transport to get those supplies to the Ukrainian border.
Because it's a long journey to the Ukraine, I think most important will be non-perishable things, like sugar, oil, also blankets, warm clothes.
We pray for all your precious children at risk and in fear.
Vigils in both Cleethorpes and Lincoln took place last night. The conflict in Ukraine hitting home here in so many ways. Whether from the RAF planes from Lincolnshire patrolling Eastern European skies to our own communities.
I really worry about my family in Ukraine.
Just praying at the moment for the best and that there's a turnaround in this war.
I'm really upset about it because some of my family members are there.
They don't feel depressed at all. They're full of energy. They want to defend the country, and they are very positive about future.
But although many Ukrainians are choosing to stay and fight, many are also leaving, which is why donations from East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire will be all the more welcome as refugee numbers increase. Crispin Rolfe, BBC Look North.
And thanks to those people here for talking to us. If you have a story or a situation over Ukraine at the moment that you think we should know about, then do drop me an email and give me the details. A Russian ship is currently docked in Gaul, despite the Transport Secretary Grant Shapps saying that Russian vessels are not welcome in UK ports. The Russian-registered cargo vessel travelled up the Humber to Gaul last night. The Hull North MP, Dame Diana Johnson, raised the issue in the Commons earlier today, saying that there was a huge amount of local opposition to it.
Just yesterday afternoon, we had a Russian-owned and Russian-crewed ship heading from Inverness down to Humber to dock. And I know the Foreign Secretary has made clear she's in discussions with the Transport Secretary, but I wonder if she can give some indication when we will have sanctions to stop that happening, because there was a huge amount of local opposition in the Humber to that ship.
Well, the local opposition is right, and we are working as fast as we can to deal with this issue.
Foreign Secretary responding to Dame Diana Johnson. And another Russian cargo vessel is due to arrive in Hull later this week on Thursday. It was en route from Russia when the ban on ships was imposed today. It faces being turned away if it continues towards the UK. Russian ships are frequently seen in the Humber carrying timber or grain.